Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the AI Growth Code podcast. So, the podcast where leaders from across industries dive into the future of AI and employee growth. My name is Irina Rogalska, and I will be your host for today. And today I have an honor to interview a visionary in this space, the tech woman founder, the CEO of Bonsai AI, and the best-selling author, Olia Stasiuk. So, Olia, let's start from the bigger picture here. What inspired you to create the AI Growth Code podcast?
Thank you so much, Irina, for having me and hosting the first episode. For sure, it's an honor to have you because you were behind the scene for entire podcast. And we kind of switched roles because we wanted to do an introduction to what's to come. And the truth is, it's funny because the podcast topic came up so many times. And people always used to mention to me, hey, you should own a podcast. You have so many cool stories to share. And podcast at the same time takes a lot of time. And I think I always knew that it's a good idea. At the same time, I wanted to make sure it's interesting for the audience. And as we were diving in more and more into AI, this idea came up not for me to be a host everywhere, because I am kind of a host on so many podcasts already. At the same time, I feel like leaders in the industry have so much to share at the same time. I like to provoke people a little bit. So that's why I put myself into the host position to make sure we really get into the nitty gritty of AI, employee development, and top companies in the world.
That's amazing. I'm already expecting what is about to come. So, as far as I know, you've been a very strong advocate for the AI, for the business innovations. And in your opinion, why do you think it's so crucial for the modern, especially modern leaders, to engage in discussions around the AI topic nowadays?
Great question, Irina. I think we're still kind of bridging the gap of AI fear. There is still a lot of people who have not tried AI after so many tries, even ChatGPT, to our surprise. So there's so many people who daily in it. That being said, majority still have not either tried it or have not tried it more than ChatGPT. The truth is, world already shifted and nothing's stopping it. So it's like when the internet came out, right? Or the cars started. And so the objective is to really engage as many leaders as we can to share with people around us in our networks that there is nothing to be scared of. We're in control of it still. At the same time, we must adapt and as fast as we can. So we want to bring awareness and make people more comfortable around the topic and really make them excited if we can.
I hope we will, and not hope, I'm sure that we will. So according to your introduction and what's been said, I can already understand that it will not be just a simple tech show. So there are a lot of podcasts out there about the AI and technology. What do you think will make this podcast different and will make it stand out of all the rest?
Yeah, very good question. I think we come from the perspective of a few things. The first one is a global perspective. So, as we operate as our company and everything I've learned with the team, we operate globally. We realized that every single culture adopting AI differently for the reasons of the way the cultures operate. So, first thing, we want to bridge the cultural gap when it comes down to AI. The second thing is we really picky on the leaders who will be joining us. We really have limited amount of spots. That being said, it's critical for us to bring true expertise in-house. It's not really going to be a discussion of what do you think the next thing in AI will come. We're really going to be diving into specific numbers, specific projects, specific proof of concepts that are ongoing in the top companies, and also very high-level executive roles to make sure we talk with the leaders who make an impact, who do make the decisions, who sign the papers, and decide which project to go with. That being said, my entire background was in employee learning and development, and I'm really going to push, if you will, for a very specific examples that worked and how the employee space will change.
Okay, great. So you already gave us a little bit of light what kind of leaders and guests we can expect. Can you also share a bit what kind of topics they will cover? And is there any specific theme that you have in your mind that's going to line up through all of this podcast?
Yes, this is a tricky question. So this is going to be a very big reveal for the first time, where I'm going to mention that some of you know me as a best-selling author. Yes, so some of you know me for the first book that I've released. And the great news is the second one is coming up. And the second book is really about AI and employee growth. And basically a book called 52 Rules of Employee Growth in AI Era, which is extremely critical for anybody who's working with people, managing people, developing people, to understand how AI impacts that. And so as every new rule comes out, we're going to use that topic for the episode of the podcast. So very, very limited. Every episode going to have its own topic, and two leaders that we're going to invite will pretty much be challenged on how and what they think about the topic. There are specific life examples, and maybe they're going to be opposite on the way if they agree or disagree with that topic. So we'll call it a friendly battle, and I'll make sure that it's friendly. That's why I'm going to be there.
So, like, out of this answer, there are two questions that arise. I've seen your first book, like, as far as I remember, is based on your own example, right? On your own story, and it's more about self-development and self-growth. So could you please give us a little bit of idea how those two books are different from each other?
Great. Yes, definitely. I think there is some similarities and some differences. And similarities, there are definitely something with me and numbers. You can tell because the first book is called 66-Day Success Formula. And now we have 52 rules for employee development in AI era. I think both books in common will have everything about self-development and employee development and pretty much success in life. And it comes down to some of the same rules, just different angles or the way you look. The differences is one dives in more into my very personal life and work-related examples. So kind of the interchange of the mindset between personal and business. And the second one really dives in more on the business example related to AI. So we're really diving in more into the future, the artificial intelligence, how to take it, what to do with it, and really how to understand it in an easy way.
Great, I can't wait to read it already. And when is the release, if the date is already scheduled?
The date to be determined by my agent. At the same time, as soon as we have it, I make sure to post it on LinkedIn. So please watch LinkedIn as always.
Yeah, subscribe and stay tuned for the further release.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And you've also mentioned friendly battles, right? So what kind of dynamics are you hoping to create between your guests in this discussion?
You know what? I'm a very big person of go by the mood and go by the moment. I'll be honest with you, I've joined so many podcasts, speaking events, and literally all the time people send me upfront questions. They usually tell me details or how long it is. I literally only prepared for a speaking event once. Not because I think that I'm super confident or I'm super smart or anything like that. I really prefer to be extremely honest and answer what I think in the moment. And that's what I want to create within our podcast space. I will try to give our speakers as least details as possible. They're going to know the topic. We're going to have quite a dynamic, quick discussion where they'll feed off each other and the questions will come up in the moment from my side and hopefully from them. And we'll keep that as real as possible. I think in the world we're in right now.
Okay, so no preparation, no topics in advance, like just getting you out of there, like show us your true self.
We gave them a little topic. They know the rule of the book. So we're definitely going to give them a rule to think about. And then, leaders have a lot of stories. So the stories can go really different directions.
Exactly. When you are true with yourself and when you're speaking out of your mind without preparation, I guess you get the best result out there, right? Okay, so great. Thank you for these details. And one of the core topics of this podcast is intersection of AI and leadership development, as far as we understood already. So could you please just start or give us your idea yourself? How do you see the AI transforming the way the company grow and train their teams and employees, and why it's so important to use AI in the daily life of the company?
I think right now it's pretty much impossible not to use AI if you want to survive in business. That's really going to be my true answer in the moment. And I think if I would suggest any leader or anybody who's listening to us right now or going to subscribe to the podcast, we're going to work on staying extremely flexible, because the only way to be great leaders in the future that's coming is to be so flexible, adaptive, ready to make decisions and pivot in the moment. And it's not because you might be doing something wrong. It's because the world going to be changing very quick, the way exactly how it does right now. Every morning we wake up and it's not just like a light news. We can come up and there is a whole new industry shifted. And as a leaders, we have to be ready to not only pivot, but also get ready our teams to move with us. So there is a lot of work, and I would say get ready to work on the shaky ground. I'm doing this with you every day. I'm not going to say it's super easy. At the same time, you know what? My life has never been more interesting than now. Hope yours too.
Easier. Yes. So, and lastly, if someone is listening to us right now and is eager to be a part of this movement of one of our episodes, what is the best way for them to connect with us? And stay tuned for the future episodes.
Yeah, totally. The best way for you is to find Irina on LinkedIn. So you're gonna check her name, the links on the bottom. You can also reach out to me. Super happy to connect. LinkedIn, our favorite place. You can also always find us through the info@bonsaiai.com, which is our primary domain. And basically, we'll be super happy to have you on. We also organize a lot of webinars or speaking events. We're going to have post podcast discussions. So those of you who are interested to participate, you're welcome. Few other notes. We are going to have leaders from around the globe. So you are welcome to join from any country. Now we're going to make sure that we have remote episodes. And for some, we also going to organize podcasts in person in some cities in US or Canada. So that being said, subscribe to podcast. We're going to prepare all of the episodes for you in advance, and they're going to be coming out weekly. And we'll create a lot of buzz. We'll ask you for a lot of your feedback and support.
So the episode, to summarize, the episode will be coming weekly, started from
New Year, January 2025. So yes, we planning to kick it off next year. This way you are prepared. And as you can tell, 52 rules are 52 years of the week. So we hope you're going to spend 2025 with us, our podcast, learning about AI, getting excited, and actually running the world with AI.
That is so great. Can't wait about what is coming. So I see that you thought it through. 52 episodes, 52 weeks, 5204 actually, because it will be a friendly battle, right? Amazing leaders, amazing Olia too. And I'm sure that it will be on fire everywhere. So thank you, Olia, for sharing your vision with us today. And I know I'm excited about what is to come, and I'm sure that our listeners too. So, and for those of you who are tuning in, listening us, or watching us, so make sure to subscribe and follow the AI Growth Code on your favorite platform. Yeah, and don't miss any single episode. So we'll be dropping new discussion from Jan 2025, from the new year, as it's been said, every week with the top leaders around the world. Stay tuned and let's grow together.
See you next year.
See you.